Joseph Nquru. Joseph Nquru is someone that probably you don't know, but farmers know him very well because he's a scammer and he specifically targets farmers and scams farmers. He's able to siphon millions and millions of rands from farmers. But what makes this whole situation worse is the fact that he is behind bars. But still, he's able to carry out this particular syndicate. Even though he's sent from one prison to another, he's still able to carry out the scams. In this video, I wanted us to talk about Mr. Joseph's and how Joseph has been able to conduct these illegal activities and how the public has seen this particular exposing of Mr. Nquru as something that is exposing Groenewald. Even though others are saying that this is a way of decampaigning Groenewald, since he's recently been advertised or been promoted as the next president of South Africa. Others are saying that why not put into account the prison managers? Why ask a lot of questions from Groenewald instead of the prison managers of that particular prison? Because this man is always found with a cell phone inside prison all the time. And that is very shocking. The fact that each and every prison, no matter how many transfers he goes through, he's always able to conduct this scam and has always been able to find a cell phone somewhere somehow, which is not a strange thing considering what has been happening with explosives at the Matlanga Commission, how our police officers are corrupt, and certain people that are being protected, including Abo Vusumuzi Ket Matlala, Abu Thabo Besta, all these people who have been able to conduct a lot of illegal activities in our South African prisons. Now we are seeing another example of a man who has been able to scam specifically farmers. Let us talk about this interview. Actually, let us react to the entire interview of Carte Blanche where they are actually exposing this particular actions from Mr. Nquru.
Across the country, drought and volatile markets are taking a toll. And when farmers are forced to sell, their desperation can make them targets for con artists.
Onmiddellik te kontak die my praat Afrikaans soos ek en jy.
Hy klink soos 'n ou oom boer en hy ken van alles.
If the guy talks to you.
You know, guys, the funny part is that he was able to convince them because he's able to speak Afrikaans, but also is very much knowledgeable with farming. And as you will see with this interview, this person started this whole thing of his from 2017, has been exposed before, and has been charged before even while he's in prison. But to this day of 2026, he's still continuing with these acts. Yo, guys, I definitely think there's people that are from the outside. There's definitely people that are from the outside that are actually working with this man. I definitely believe that. There's no way that you can be able to carry out such a thing for years. No matter how many times you get exposed, you get charged, you still are able to convince people from the outside that when you are a legitimate farmer and that people should trust you with their cattle, with their livestock. Oh, yeah, let us continue.
It's really, it's business as usual.
Rian du Plessis is the financial manager for one of South Africa's biggest sheep farms. After a prolonged drought, they decided to put 280 animals on the market at the end of last year. Quicker than expected, they got an offer from a farmer in the Eastern Cape, a Mr. Van Rooyen.
It was actually a very easy deal. Pricing wasn't questioned, and actually he phoned more than once to get the invoice because he wanted to make the payment.
The proof of payment for 644,000 Rand came through on a Thursday afternoon. The sheep were loaded and the truck set off for Edenburg in the Eastern Cape the next day. But by Monday morning, the money still hadn't reflected.
I phoned Mr. Van Rooyen. He said, I'm very sorry, man. Me and my wife, we are in the bank now. Your money would be in the bank by 4 o'clock. And then he added, in a sense of a by the way comment, or by the latest tomorrow morning 9 o'clock. And then I knew that this is a problem.
Before we can go to the private investigator thing, this person, which means he was, to show how much he's a scammer, that is why I'm saying that, guys, he has people that he's working with. There is no way that you can send someone money and even send them the POP and even be able to take that money out again. so that you scam them 99. That is literally the highest form of scamming. Unless you have the necessary skills, knowledge, equipment, you won't be able to do that. We know that Thabo Bester was able to attend events, was able to do great things. If you guys remember the Thabo Bester situation.
We hope you're not crying.
He was able to even get celebrities to come and celebrate his birthday party. That's what Thabo Bester was able to do. And still, this person was a scammer inside prison. And no one, even though celebrities saw, they were busy singing happy birthday to him. And he was saying, oh, but he's a criminal. But now, Thabo Bester is currently in court over the urgent application linked to the 2022 escape case. He's been making arguments there, representing himself. The appearance follows the urgent application launched by Thabo Bester challenging the aspect of the charges connected to his escape from Mangaung Correctional Services. The matter forms part of a broader case in which Thabo Bester and his co-accused, including his former partner, Nandipama Kodumana, face multiple charges relating to the escape, as well as associated allegations of fraud and murder. Bester was already serving a life sentence for rape and murder. Has recently suffered several legal setbacks. This includes unsuccessful attempts to secure prison transfer and challenges related to his fair trial claims. So this hearing is expected to focus on the procedural or constitutional issues raised by his latest urgent application as the high-profile case continues to unfold. So this is your Thabo Bester.
The respondents are basically playing three roles in this. They are basically opening a charge as a complainant, and then they are taking a decision as a judge, and then they're also executing it. So basically right now, if you look at all the papers that have been filed since my incarceration 2023 on the 13th, is that they've classified me as a high-profile, kept me in solitary confinement for the past 3 years. And the reason, if you look at it, it's an alleged escape. There's no other factor. There's no violation of prison rules found with contrabands or any other issue. It's just the fact that I am accused of escaping. But that accusation has been implemented already by correctional services. So the point is, why am I going to a criminal trial where I'm already guilty of a crime that I'm supposed to go and defend myself? Because even if I defend myself and I can showcase that, and I decide to say this, that there is more than overwhelming evidence that I have and my legal defense has, that we are 100% sure I would never be in a position where I'm found guilty on escape. Because the escape is not a typical escape where a person broke out of a wall and jumped, Your Honor. It's a situation where somebody has been out for a very long time, and then they decided that this person is escaped.
Obviously, this matter was opposed. And these are the arguments of the attorneys or the legal representatives that are actually opposing this application.
There can't be a question around the lawfulness of his incarceration, because there's a warrant of committal that commits him to detention. So his incarceration at CMAX then and now at the Bongweni is lawful. It's lawful because there's a warrant that exists. There's a warrant that has not been set aside. And it's not a warrant that can be ignored. In fact, that's the reason why when he was captured in Tanzania, that's the reason why he was taken to CMAX. It's not because of a classification or a description that he's a sentenced prisoner or a person serving a sentence. It is not that. It is because there's an extant warrant of committal that had to be complied with, that requires him to be incarcerated at CMAX. So agency cannot be founded on a supposition that his incarceration was lawful. It's lawful. It remains lawful. It was lawful then. It's lawful now. It continued to be lawful. But there's an important reason why this matter should not be heard urgently. The important reason, really, my lord, my lady, is that Mr. Bester, from onset, when he was taken to CMAX in 2023, in April 2023, he was aware of his rights. He, in fact, even complained about his constitutional rights. He even launched a number of applications. There was an application that he launched in 2024 where he sought access to modem and a laptop. So he's a man that has always been aware of his constitutional rights, but decided not to approach court in that 3-year period. He only decided to do that when it suits him now, when there's a looming trial in November or December of last year. Now that approach is impermissible. It means that he's a man who's been sitting on his laurels for 3 years. He's a man who creates his own agents.
And if this application, guys, is actually successfully opposed, he's going to be paying for costs. Guys, it was first the issue of the laptops. It was first it was then the issue of being sent from back to Kokstad, from Epongweni back to Mampuru. He just loves courts. He loves court, this guy, so much so that he wants to refute. It's not me. He's just not waiting. He can't wait for his trial. It's like it's like there is Imbunguru with their bed bugs that are busy towing him and he can't stay in prison. And you know, my worry is we might take this slight and just think he's fighting. You'll find that these visits to court are actually benefiting him in some way, somehow. I don't know if he's getting things or what, but I think they should also look at these appearances that he's busy making endlessly in court. I think there's something that we are missing here, that it will later be found out that when Thabo Bester was busy attending court now and again, this is what was going on. I don't trust him at all. So that's why I'm saying that this is just something else to show you that, yeah, these prisoners, guys, they're enabled. Actually, people outside are working with them, because imagine scamming someone over 200,000 rands or 300,000 rands. Clearly, there's other people that are going to benefit. You're not going to just be eating that money alone. Yeah, this thing is big, and I'm happy that Groenewald is involved, and we'll hear Groenewald as the time goes by. And I'm hoping that he will investigate this matter more, and they'll actually find out what these people from the outside that are actually working with Mr. Nquru. Let us go continue with this.
Rian appointed a private investigator. Tracking the transporter's route, Bram Hubert discovered the truck was diverted by Mr. van Rooyen to the Free State.
So this is where you found the sheep, Bram?
Yes, in the scroll, yeah, yes.
You can immediately see this is not someone who can afford to buy 600,000 rand worth of sheep.
Definitely not.
With 119 sheep recovered, the hunt for the elusive Mr. van Rooyen began. Bram's first lead was a voice recording.
He sounds like he's sitting on a farm in the Free State.
Yes, yes, yes.
We tracked down the apparent buyer, a Mr. van Rooyen from the Eastern Cape. At first, it seemed we'd found our man.
Ek hoor meneer is besig om plase te koop en vee reg oor die land. Dis dieselfde met meneer van Rooyen.
Ek is regte van Rooyen. Wat ek weet dit is veel en ja, hulle spreek dit so weet ek hoe maar is weer.
Yeah, so he's also stealing people's identity. He's also stealing people's, just like Thabo Bester. I'm happy that I'm making this to be like a comparative study between this case and the case of Thabo Bester. Just like Thabo Bester. And that's the crazy part, guys. All these people are in Kokstad. They were able to do all these things. This one was able to do in Kokstad, even though Thabo Bester was in another prison. But the fact that this has happened before and is still happening despite people like Thabo Bester being arrested, which means there is no rehabilitation that is happening, guys. Actually, things are getting worse. Things are getting worse, and I don't know when is the president going to take this serious, that inmates are in cahoots with people from the outside and are able to carry out such things, because he's able to successfully steal someone's identity, and he's using that identity to continue scamming farmers.
Voice recordings are actually of a man who hasn't set foot on a farm since at least 2011. And it turned out to be a voice we'd heard before, in a context more correctional than agricultural. This is a voice that we know from 2017, and It may sound unbelievable, but this isn't an Afrikaans farmer. It's a criminal, and he's sitting behind bars. Back then, we exposed the man running precisely the same scam. His name was Joseph Nquru.
From the bar.
Where are you at the moment?
I'm in Nelspruit now.
Wrong. You're in Groenewald prison right now, aren't you?
You must not even do any allegation against me.
9 years later,
Yeah, this scammer. Don't make those allegations against me. So what's going on? Like, why then is he scamming people? Why is he scamming people? Yeah, guys, lack of accountability. Let's continue.
Nquru is still in prison and facing more allegations. Dr. Pieter Groenewald is the Minister of Correctional Services. Could you tell me why it persisted even though we exposed him before?
Because I was not the minister since 2017. I only became the minister in July 24. Yes, we have a problem. That's what I inherited.
We've spoken to close to 20 people who've had contact with Nquru in the past 5 years. 14 of them had combined losses of around 2.5 million rand.
We lost about, I think, 320,000. It was in the region of 80,000 rand.
Ek het 300,000 rand verloor.
We uncovered cases from 2025 and even an attempted con as recently as February this year. But he's continued to scam farmers under your watch. So you haven't been able to stop him, Minister?
I, as minister, are not informed of each and every contravention taking place all over the 243 prisons. The moment it was brought to my attention, I acted immediately. He's transferred. He's not even in the Free State anymore.
But Nkuru's location is irrelevant to how he appears to operate. Joseph Nquru has been behind bars for at least 50 years.
Okay, so let's talk about this Groenewald thing. So people have not really liked the fact that this interviewer actually asked questions such as this one to Groenewald, and they're saying that Groenewald was not there. He's just been there for a few months. How can he correct things that have been happening from the times of by all the other ministers of correctional services in just a short space of time? And that there's a lot that he has to deal with. But he says that he has done something about it. That's the thing, though. As the interview continues, or this particular episode continues, you'll find that they've transferred him before, but he still finds a way to have a cell phone. I don't know why they haven't transferred him to ePhongweni, because we've heard that ePhongweni is super max, and that, you can't be having cell phones there. But with this interview, you get to see that, is there even something that is called super max? Or we are just being fooled to think that there is something like that? Because at the end of the day, those super max have police officers, and some of those police officers are corrupt. Let us continue.
Years. And in that time, he cycled through all these prisons, but he was always connected to the outside world. And that's possible because of an issue bigger than this case alone: the availability of cell phones. These recent images from 3 different prisons show the extent of the problem. As you can see there, these inmates don't only have cell phones, they also have chargers.
Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal.
Yep.
Between me and you. If you get those photos, send it to me.
But that's not how the media's relationship with sources works. The point is that cell phones are still getting into prisons, and the scams are continuing. It's alleged that there are at least 40 cases against Joseph Nquru for crimes committed while he's been in prison. Over the years, he's changed how he conducts the con, and by doing so, it's spread across the country, from Van Zyl in the Northern Cape to Donnybrook in KZN. He's changing his tactics. A scam in Welkom several years ago is an example. Within days of advertising 2 farms for sale, a client of private investigator Pieter Kluge got a 32 million rand cash offer, and an additional 5 million rand for all the cattle.
The purchaser got hold of my client and said, oh, by the way, if you look at the figure that I've paid you, I've overpaid you about 220,000 rand. I need to move my cattle from my existing farm to your farm. It's going to cost 184,000 rand. Won't you please just transfer that money into this bank account?
At that point, did any of the money reflect in your client's bank account?
Nothing. That's when they obviously called me. I traced the bank account owner.
It emerged that while posing as a wealthy farmer, Nquru had employed a farm manager. That's who the account belonged to.
He got this call from this farmer, this beautifully well-spoken Afrikaans farmer. I've got a job for you. You fit the criteria. I'm employing you. Yeah, it is. And the way he got to his bank account is he said to him, you need to pay wages. I'm going to put money in your account. There's 184,000 rand coming. And 184,000 arrived. So this guy thought, well, here we go. We're in business. I've got a job.
Was the farm manager in on the scam?
No, he wasn't. I think he suffered a fair loss as well because he had to travel up to Welkom to meet people to pay the balance of the cash.
He thought he was paying wages. He was.
Well, he thought he paid the wages.
He paid. In reality,
he paid the suspect. In reality,
South Africans surely deserve to be protected from being scammed by people inside prison.
Of course.
And Minister, it's your job to protect South Africa.
Yes, and I will do it. But it is also the responsibility of the South African police services to ensure that they catch the people.
But in this case, that's what happened. He's behind bars.
It is also the responsibility of the Justice Department. No, give me a chance. Huh? It's also the responsibility of the Justice Department to ensure that there are convictions.
But that's what happened. Nquru is a...
Okay, I think also, I agree with Groenewald when he says that it is the responsibility of the SARS. Yes, with him being incarcerated inside there, I think it's just a lot to expect Groenewald personally to do that. But I also think that because correctional services falls under him, but I also think these things have hierarchies. You can't just put the responsibility on the minister without even looking at the other people that are correctional services managers and all of those things, because it starts there before it can go up to Groenewald. So I think it failed from the initial stages. And Groenewald now, if the officials or the people that are below him are not working, what is he going to do? I know that probably someone would have said he should have fired those people, should have done this and should have done that. But I also think that, think of it in that way that if you are a manager of a firm, let me just put it like that, you're a manager of a firm and your employees are doing wrong things and you don't even know that they're actually doing those things, and you are finding out probably through such things or such reports that there's actually a criminal who's doing 1, 2, 3. You have to start first by investigating as to why did these people that are below you in terms of rank have failed to do something about it. Then you as a minister, therefore, you can just take decision following from that. Because we know that how the powers in South Africa work, how things are done. Look at the example of the police, even though it's not exactly the same portfolios, but look at the police portfolio. Senzo Mqunu cannot just come into the operational matters of the SAPS, even though there is the Minister of Police, there is a police commissioner. First, before we can go to the minister, we need to ask the police commissioner as to what is going on, then go to the minister. So I think that one can be a little bit unfair on Groenewald because of that hierarchy. But also, as a minister, he has to a certain degree, know what is happening in his department and know what these people that these criminals are busy with. For example, look at him. He came with a beautiful initiative which through Sunday Times that illegal immigrants that have been arrested have to be deported back to their country. He did say something around those lines. And I think that is another way to show that he means good. I feel like Groenewald is one of the good ministers that we've had. Hence, people wanted him to be the president because he's doing amazingly well. The projects that he has enacted in the police, in the correctional services, and the things that he's introducing slowly but surely in correctional service gets to show you that this man actually is one of the best ministers that we can ever have. And, such people, it's not like you should not criticize them. Probably he did make a mistake then, but I also think we should apply logic because there's other people that also have to be taking account before him. I don't know if that makes sense.
Convicted criminal serving a sentence.
But it is also the responsibility of the public to not and make sure that they do not fall for a scam.
Who should the farmers blame when they've been scammed by someone who's sitting in prison?
Well, firstly, they must ask themselves, why did they fall for the scam? Were they, can I say, very suspicious about the thing?
Let's listen to the voice clips again.
Wiekes vorder julle daarso, ver is julle van die eerste trop.
And then there's the proof of payment. Seems authentic.
There's only one word, and that's cunning. It's an ingenious way that he's done this. The problem is, you're going to...
Okay, so the involvement of the Minister of Justice has already done their role by ensuring that this person gets arrested, gets incarcerated. The police have done the investigation, they've arrested the person. Now it's his role, right? But I also think that the reason why the police come in, especially in this context, is because I don't think this guy is working alone, guys. I doubt that this man is working alone. And even he, as the minister, since he found out that Nquru is there, then he should try by all means to work with these departments to find the people that might be working with Nquru from the outside. Because even the interviewer himself, he knows that Nquru is not working alone. There's no way that Nquru is working alone. Let's continue.
Convict him of fraud or theft or whatever it may be. He's going to sit in prison, but he's already in prison.
And that's no impediment to his scam, even when the authorities are alerted. In 2022, attorney Shanique Snyman figured out the so-called buyer behind a collapsed 6 million rand farm sale was calling her from a maximum security prison.
We made an appointment to see the head of the prison there to inform him of the ongoing fraudulent activity of one of the inmates.
Did they do anything about it at the prison?
They said they did a search of his cell and they found 2 hands full of disposable SIM cards that he was busy using. They presented the contraband to us that they have found. It was as if they were pleased with themselves for finding it.
Confiscating devices is one thing. Stopping the network is another.
And the question really is, who is running our correctional centers? The inmates or the department?
No. Straightforward. I said we will do everything. We have budget constraints, but I prioritize.
That's the person that is a problem, the prison head. The prison head. So if Groenewald was to do something, the prison head, the prison manager, or whatever the case may be, that is who is the problem. Because you can't just be happy because when you confiscated something. Something more has to happen. That is why you have to chip in the minister so that the minister can see what can be done in this particular situation. Because I might not be a farmer. I've never been a farmer. None of my parents have been farmers. I don't know how things are done in farmers. Maybe you are a farmer, or you know someone who's a farmer, or you are a child of a farmer. And one day you'll be a farm owner. Probably you understand how things are done. But I also think that more than anything, we have to put the minister into account. I'm not saying let him not account, but also we must think about the prison managers that also are just happy that they've confiscated something. They're not happy about the fact that, okay, what can we do? What can we do going forward? Because this person, clearly, he's enabled.
Certain monies to ensure that we get more modern technology. We started with a pilot project, and there are 3 facilities where we have monitoring equipment, modern technology. And if a cell phone is used in the facility, we can pick it up immediately.
That's just 1.2% of prisons. But the minister insists raids and cleanups are delivering results. 37,000 cell phones confiscated. 180 officials dismissed in one financial year.
180 people brought in 37,000 cell phones.
Well, how many do you wanted me to fire?
I don't think those numbers match up.
No, let me now be clear. I don't think you understand correctional services in South Africa.
What we do understand is that correctional services is where convicted criminals go to serve jail time, not to commit more crime.
this is the matter where the public is not even safe from inmates, then what is the use of them being locked up?
Yeah, I can say that we are a country of accountability and democracy, which allows for accountability. And I just think that sometimes we want a lot from our leaders, our ministers, and everything. We want a lot from them, and we don't understand that that sometimes is impractical. This is better than nothing, guys. Let's tell the truth. We have seen worse situations when people who are ministers of correctional services have not done anything. Have not done, if they're trying to even improve the system that you can be found just like that if you have a cell phone inside prison. For me, I think that is a big improvement. That is a big improvement. And you just from this interview, you can see that Groenewald seems like he's trying. He's trying. Probably, guys, I might be biased. You might think I'm biased because I'm one of the people that don't have a problem with Groenewald. Actually, I think that he's doing a really good job. And yeah, I don't know what you guys think. Do you think this interviewer was attacking him? And do you think that all of this attack was justified or not? But what we know for sure is that Mr. Groenewald is one of a kind. And that the criminal justice system of South Africa is extremely flawed. And that if we see someone trying to do something, we should applaud them. I think more than anything, what will help is seeing what will happen from now onwards, the progress from what this interview has revealed. Will the minister actually find a way that they end up ousting this person that has been doing this operation in prison? Or, it'll just stay like this. What will they do? In this line of prisons that this person has went to, Epongweni is not there. And Epongweni, we've seen Thabo Pesta going there, Vusumuzi Ketwatlala going there. I think it's time for this guy to also go there. He's really, really dangerous. He's really, really, really dangerous. And he's been doing this for years. From 2017, guys, he's been doing this for years. And more than anything, I think we should sometimes take these things with a pinch of salt because some of these people are part of the GNU. They're from different political parties. If maybe Groenewald was from the ANC, I would have understood why he's hardcore, the interview is hardcore like this. But I also think that he's inherited a very flawed correctional services department. And there's a lot of reforms he's doing. Hence, he's busy starting with the reforms little by little. I just think that it's unfair for us to expect big from him. He just arrived in a way. And he's trying. That's the thing. He's trying. And now this thing of crucifying him as if he's not doing anything, I think it's kind of rather unfair. But at the same time, I understand the argument of accountability that if Abo Zuma, they want accountability, Abo Malema, they want accountability, Abo Cyril Ramaphosa, they want accountability, and many other politicians who have been crucified because of their departments. Therefore, we also need to be put into accountability. But at the same time, let us just allow Groenewald to see what will happen. I think that soon we'll hear some news regarding this. I don't know because a lot of media houses have not spoken about him. It seems like it's only Carte Blanche. But we'll hear as time goes by as to whether Carte Blanche will come with some updates. And the fact that, guys, he even allowed this interview. For me, it's great to know that people are always running, guys, when it comes to these stories. We remember the story of Panyaza Lusufi. He didn't even want to come and respond because people are always running away from these type of allegations. They always want to protect themselves. So the fact that Groenewald is here talking, for me, is like he's being upfront. He's saying he's out of the story. Nonetheless, guys, it's already 20-something minutes. It's over 20-something minutes now. Let me hear your thoughts, what you think. I'll see you guys on my next upload. Bye.